All right, we're back. And I'm looking forward to this one because I have a new tween. Is that what they're called? And he's obnoxious. He's 11 years old, going on like 80. And I used to joke that the kid was, you know, like 5 going on 18 or whatever. But this kid is way beyond his age in years. And it's really weird. And I mean that like in a, I'm not super happy about it because he's never really been a kid type of thing. So I don't know if you guys got any advice for me on the whole tween thing, because he's 11 with a straight up man voice now, and full on man hair right in those areas, and he's, I don't know, mature beyond his years when it comes to like everything. And his friends, his best friends, are all older than him. Maybe that's why. But his friends in his own grade that are his best friends are still like that baby. It's like that sixth grader baby age that they still kind of cry, when they don't get what they want. And Jacob's driving me crazy. So his hormones are rapidly changing, and this talk is helping me as much as it's helping all of you guys. So I love it, and I'm excited to be able to use some of these things even on Jacob. So let's get started and make sure all of my things are here for all the things I'm doing with you guys. So let's talk about teen protocols. We'll get a little bit into children as well, but teen protocols, I feel, for me at least, are so important because I have a tween. He's 11 years old. Like I said, going on 80. He's a funny little kid. But he's already got so he has a lot of acne, but the acne we've known since a kid is an allergic response to high fructose corn syrup. So whenever he eats anything, he doesn't drink soda, but if he goes to a friend's house and they let him have a Sprite, which he will have, he knows the consequences. It's these tiny little pockmarked zits that come up all over his face. So there's nothing we can do about it because we're like, well, you just have to now wait the month or two for that to heal. So please just stop eating high fructose corn syrup, right? Like, this is one thing that we know our child is allergic to. And if you have a child that is having early acne that is not hormonal, try moratoriums on foods. That's what we did. We found out early on when he was a baby, if he had anything, like any of those candies that you start giving your kids that have high fructose corn syrup, that was his trigger. Some trigger because of the color, the food colorings, like Lake 5 or yellow number 11 or whatever the colors are, red 40. So there's a lot of different interesting triggers. We found out that one early. So that being said, though, just this year, literally just last month, I started seeing hormonal acne, and that's very different. And you can tell hormonal acne because they're usually larger zits, and they're red and kind of the poofiness on the face rather than just the little tiny marks. So I was like, oh, all right, your hormones are in full swing. He, I think, grew 4 or 5 inches this summer, and his voice drastically dropped. Yesterday, he's like, Mom, can I take a shower? I'm like, who is that? It's like a little bit comical. But he's definitely like a teenager now. So here's the issue with teens, and even adults. Some people have a hard time swallowing pills. Some people only have a 1-minute attention span. So I would put teens in that category. They don't like swallowing pills and they don't have a long attention span. Now, I can even put my husband in that category because he doesn't like swallowing pills and he has a pretty good attention span, but he's sort of bored with it all, right? Like, I don't want to take all these pills, right? And he does. He has several pills that he takes from Young Living. He takes a lot of really good ones for him, but I've sort of capped out on him. He's like, no more. So the attention span on me adding anything is sort of, it's not happening. So these are some good supplements that will give a general support to teens because they're going through stress. They're going through hormone changes. They're going through skin changes. They're growing. So you need that bone and muscle and like just ligament support. So here's what I recommend. And you absolutely need to help support their immune system. Okay. And that is a huge thing as they're growing and changing and all this good stuff. So it's really simple. It's only 4 supplements. You're going to for sure make sure they do Ningxia Red. And I'm sorry, parents, but just be a parent for the 1 minute that you're going to have to force this on them. And I do this with Jacob. He would not do this if I didn't do it for him. So every morning I wake up, and even though I don't drive him to school or anything, I definitely, this is my regimen. I make him this stuff, and I'm like, here. I'm like forcing it on him, and he knows. It doesn't take more than a minute, and he does it, and it's all good. So I'll tell you our whole regimen, but the 4 supplements would be Ninja Red, Super C Chewables, Sulfurzyme powder, right? If they can swallow the capsules, great, but just the powder is fine, and the Kid Sense Mighty Pro. So you can make it really simple. So I have my Ninja Red drink here. I've poured in my, I actually put the capsule in here today to show you what it looks like. It's not so bad, and I have a metal straw and glass in here, and it mixes in. It's a little bit chunky, so they'll just knock it back, but just do like a shot glass. So we don't drink in this household, but we have a ton of shot glasses, and they're for morning time Ninja shots. So I will fill that shot glass up because I want that 2 ounces in there. I will put the powder in there, whether it be the Sulfurzyme capsule, usually it's the powder that we put in there. And then that's gonna help his joints as he's growing, and ligaments and all that good stuff, plus his skin. I make him chew the Super C Chewable. I have, like I said, the Ninja Red, the Sulfurzyme powder. Now, I can also, and what I did in this drink is I put a Mighty Pro in here for myself. And the Mighty Pro is that beautiful prebiotics plus probiotics. But my kid actually really likes the way that tastes, and everybody does. It tastes like a pixie stick. It's fantastic. So the reason I put the Mighty Pro into my drink today, my little red drink here, is because I want to kind of placate the Sulfurzyme powder that's the capsule. So if you are thinking, I want to try Sulfurzyme in my drink, but I only have the capsules, it's a little bitter tasting. So if you put Kid Sense Mighty Pro, that is a natural sweetener, and most of us like the way that tastes better than, say, stevia. So just something to consider. And you can put all 3 of those in a drink and have them chew the Super C Chewables. Super simple, right? Just throw it all in there. For Jacob, what we do is the Ninja Red with some essential oils. You can actually add a couple of drops of essential oils in there if you want. The powder, the Sulfurzyme powder, the chewable, and then have him take the Mighty Pro at the end. It honestly feels like they're getting to eat candy in the morning. They love it. So do that at the end of all this. The other thing, though, that you can do if you are feeding your kid breakfast, so some mornings we do breakfast, and I will just shove the chewables near him. I'm like, take these. So I give him a couple of the Mighty Bites. I give him a couple of, really you should have like 4 for a teenager, if not more. But I'm like, here, take these. And I give him the Mighty Zyme cap, little tablet to chew, and Super C. And the Super C is up to you if you want to just do 1, but you can even do 2. It just depends, like kind of watch their immune system and how they're doing. But that's it. It's super simple. And then we do lavender chapstick. I'm always putting chapstick. I do something on his neck, whether it's Valor, Brain Power. We do Stress Away most days because he loves the way that one smells, but depends on what's going on. Like if he's got a test or something big that day, it's definitely Brain Power, and he loves that. So that's just to help you guys understand the benefits of, combining things, and then he's out the door, right? And that's it. That's it. I mean, it's super, super easy, and he doesn't even think about it, honestly. And he just knows, like, this is our little thing in the morning, our little, like, 60-second dance. So I think you guys could all do this. It's very simple. When it comes to your kids, in the book, and this whole thing is in the book, so you guys will be able to read that in the supplements desk reference. So if you don't know, this is your handy dandy, like everything in their book. Your kids, in the book have multiple protocols for kids because it really depends on what's going on. And the kids can do this as well when it comes to your teens, right? Even technically adults can do this. But when it comes to the general health support, it's similar, but I'm adding in those Mighty Zymes, Mighty Bites, okay? So adding those 2 things in. And it's really just Ninja Red, Kid Sense Mighty Zyme, Mighty Bites, and Mighty Pro, and the Super C Chewables. So you can do breakfast and dinner. So you're kind of splitting it, doing that whole thing. Sometimes we don't do that for dinner for him, and it's just in the morning. So any child 4 years and older can do this. We have a kids health immunity booster protocol. So that's if your kid looks like not doing so well, or not even that. We don't want to wait till your kid is not doing so well. And this is where I'm asking Jacob all the time, how is everybody else feeling? And then I go through the whole protocol with him there. if anybody's out sick, I don't want him being out sick. I want to keep him above the wellness line. So we up the Ninja. We up certain things, like we might do 2 Mighty Pros during the day. I might do 2 or 3 servings of Ninja Pro throughout the day, or excuse me, Ninja Pro, Ninja Red, like Ninja in the morning, Ninja right when he gets back home from school, and Ninja late afternoon, something like that. So it just depends on where you're putting that in. But then I always do like a Super C Chewable at night, and maybe even another Kid Sense Mighty Pro at night, like we said. So there's some different protocols that you can do depending on what your kid needs. But that's kind of a helpful tool for you guys, hopefully, to move forward. And the question I get all the time is like, can kids take any of these? If they can swallow capsules, can they take any of our supplements? And the answer is yes and no. Excuse me. Certain things are called out on to not have on kids under 12. So just pay attention to that. Some of the things like that are a little stronger, para-free, cardiogized. There's some that maybe wouldn't be appropriate for a child, Thyromin. But if you're working with your doctor and they say that they need to be on a B vitamin or something like that, and they can swallow pills, then yeah, you can do half, like do 1 tablet, something like that. So just use your best judgment. And I can't answer the questions as to what your child should be using, because I don't know your child and I'm not a doctor, just like I can't answer what you should be using. So please remember not to message me with a, hey, here's my whole medical history. I get these emails all the time. Here's everything that's going on in my body. What should I be using? And I'm thinking, first of all, I'm not a doctor. Second of all, I am not a let's ask Jen self-help resource. Okay, I would never have the time to do that. If I had 250,000 of you messaging me all day long, that's all I'd be doing all day long. So I also have a downline, and I do help my personally enrolled. We have a really cool thing that we are on Marco Polo, where people can ask questions. I'm online with them. They have my personal cell phone number. So that's something that I reserve for my own downline to help them understand how these products works on a one-on-one basis. But I still don't get into diagnosing and treating them, because remember, I'm not a doctor. So if you're looking to sign up with somebody and you don't know anybody and you found me on your own and they didn't have you come and say, hey, check out Jen. If somebody told you check out Jen, they probably are using Young Living and are selling Young Living. But if you're looking for personal support from someone like me that is like a walking encyclopedia, you can sign up with me. My member number is 946-916. But remember, please make sure you don't have a friend that is already doing it and would be real mad at you if you did. For me, I signed up under somebody that I didn't know. She taught me years and years ago 1 lesson and never called me again, and never followed up with me, and I never knew how to order again. So every time I ordered, I would call Young Living, until one of my girlfriends who hit Royal Crown Diamond last year. I love that she did this, and she was one of my past students. I was her photography instructor at college. And she came to me for some social media advice and some different things, and asked me to help her, figure out some questions that she had with this glass ceiling she had hit. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to check her out, because I was eligible to switch teams. So I did, only because I hadn't ordered in, I think it was like 13 months was my last call in order. Like I never even knew there was a website, and that was like 8 years ago. So or 4 years ago for her, but I started 11 years ago, and I started sharing 8 years into my journey with Young Living. And it happens sometimes, right? Still to this day, don't know who that girl was. But that's the thing. You want to make sure that you're never trying to switch teams. That's not advised at all. But again, if you are eligible to switch, you are welcome to go to whomever you want. And let me tell you, there are some amazing leaders in Young Living. I have some amazing leaders, and that's what you want. You want a good team feel and a good team support. And if you don't have a team and you're kind of already in and you're not going to switch, which I don't recommend it, I encourage you guys to consider Team Vitality. It is a cross-line support. It's a subscription, but it's amazing. And the people in there, men and women in there, are phenomenal. All right, so let's get into the next video. I can't wait to share with you guys our budget-friendly protocol. Are you guys ready for that? We're going to do that on the very next session. We'll see you guys in just a few, so stick around.